Today besihlangene la eDurban, Premier Hotel, to announce our nominees for Boxing Awards. And the plan ukuthi today reveal la besicabanga ukuthi today ngomhla 30 June they will walk away with them a crown. As the chairperson of the committee did allude to the fact that we're going, after this process, we'll be opening indemnity book rule book. Anyone who's got a dispute or complaint, the line is open, the emails are open, we want to receive those. Because after 24 hours is a valid, and then there's even a final list. So we say up until 30 June. So today we're voting. This is what we have based on the applications, nominations received. We are sharing it with you, but we are waiting for those. We are not happy. And then by Friday, we're going to issue a press statement with the final list of nominees going forward.
Ngabe uCEO ngalokho akushoyo uqondo ukuthi kungenzeka ama nomination ashintshe lawe siwabone manje.
The rule book allows that ukuthi once you have announced ama nominees, give abantu an opportunity to engage you. If you need to re-evaluate, you do that, and after 24 hours, then you close that process. Then you have a final. It's democracy. We are not dictating. We open the process knowing very well that the rule book does allow that process to be followed. So we have to follow the rule book process so that we can avoid the issues of litigation and etc.
Why Durban? As a hospital, did you choose or when the bidding process? How did you get it?
We chose Durban because when we was engaging in different metros, Durban was quite keen to take awards at boxing, and they also want to promote tourism. Durban. We all know what happened with December, but the Durban beach, Shuma Beach were closed. So I think it's an opportunity for them again to advertise and tell us what is Durban, history of Durban, and hence why we said let's come to Durban. Besides, I think the last awards we had were in 2019, they were in Sentin. Prior to that, they were in PE. So I think it's fair that we come to this province.
Any sports boxing just to always promote and improve it in the country.
Yeah, njengoba ngisho ukuthi in the essence, the nature of awards, they create a competition. So the day we launched them, you also what happened? People started competing on Facebook, on social media. I must be declared the boss of the year. I must be declared promoter. I would be the promoter. And that's what we want to see, because it really says to our sponsors, there is boxing, boxing is alive, and there are people who are in boxing. So when you are declared on the 30th of June as a boss of the year, promoter of the year, ring announcer of the year, that also elevates your status in the boxing fraternity. You are somebody who is doing something great and you are recognized, and you want to keep maintaining, you want to maintain that.
Mr. CEO, what is the state of boxing in South Africa in terms of financially, and secondly, in terms of international placements?
Yeah, in terms of finances, we went to portfolio committee and we met with the minister, the portfolio committee. We requested that we want to get more funding. There's a lot that needs to be done for boxing, especially the building of infrastructure. We want to have each and every district, the municipality, the district. I'm sure about 11 districts in KZN. So each district must have a world-class gym there. So same applies to different provinces. And for us to do that, we need funding. We won't be able to achieve that with the funding that we have.
And has BSA considered public-private partnerships?
Definitely. We are calling on everyone who's got a keen interest in supporting us as BSA to avail themselves and really support us as BSA. So we are open to that, to those partnerships. And we have engaged a number of stakeholders in relation to that. It's just that the negotiation that had to do with sponsorships and funding take time. But fortunately, we are hoping that before the end of the year, we'll have concluded some agreements with big businesses.
CEO ngabe mhlambe lama award azovezwa ku TV?
Yes, but it will be a delayed broadcast. It will minimize our cost.
CEO, but some like sign a MOU na SABC to show
Definitely.
Why was which was because of that.
Yeah, I think if we are following the news, you will agree with me that SAPC currently is technically insolvent, and we have to understand their financial position and be accommodative. So we're still engaging with them, but we don't want to put them under pressure. They know the costs that are involved in terms of broadcasting the nature of this event. So, but we are looking at other also broadcasters, and that's why we know that they will be broadcast on television, but it will be delayed broadcast. It may not be SAPC, it may be somebody else's channel, but we cannot declare that now we're not done with the negotiations.
Joe, mhlambe masithi uqhezwa kancane kuma-awards. The latest in terms of Ludumo, and his states, siyazi ukuthi usaphesheya kwamanje, so what's the latest that you received?
What we want to do as BSA, because we are regulated, we cannot just speak from the air. We've just contacted the chairperson of the Medical Advisory Committee of BSA, Dr. Sithole, to engage the embassy in the Ireland. Then he will be getting reports from the embassy's office and from the doctors that are currently overseeing the life of our boxer. They will communicate that with him. He will then take that into give us his PSA, and then we'll communicate with the public. We want to avoid a situation where we start giving immediate information that is not verified. So
you haven't received anything so far?
I think the last update was that there is improvement. But as I said, we want to get that from a credible source, our doctors. And we are hoping that before the end of the day, we will start receiving something. And then that's when we'll start issuing statements about the updates from the position of BSA.
So the updates from Boxing 5, are they credible? Are they... Because now we've been seeing them, let's need some updates from the day.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. As I said, we want to use our own sources to get the right information. And what we're going to do tomorrow, we'll be visiting Mr. Khadu and Mr. Pagame Jacobs from Eastern Cape will be going to Tanzania from his home and meet with his mother just to assess the situation. And we're on top of the game now. We want to make sure that we provide accurate information to our boxing fans about his life.
You said in the beginning, when I spoke to you on Tuesday, you said the family was not keen to keep the information. How are they feeling? And are you planning on maybe behind this?
The National Department through Minister, Honorable Sithole, they are engaging with the embassy on the other side. And hence why we did not want just to release information. And also the family was not keen just to release any updates. But I think now process is taking too long. I think it's starting to take a toll on the family. So hence why we want to get closer and closer to them and now be the ones that are now getting the information from both family, the doctors, from the embassy, and talk to the boxing fraternity about that.
Last one, stipulated time, I would agree with it. And we haven't seen improvement in terms of my ladies in corner fights. You know, what's in terms of this face
I can say we've got talent in boxing. Anyone who has been following boxing can tell you that what we saw this talent. I can count a number of boxers. I think we are happy. It's just that we don't have much exposure that we did. As you agree with me, SAPC is going to give us 12 dates this year, and that's not enough. That's not enough because we've got 2022-2023 we had plus or minus 85 tournaments in a year. So if you were to broadcast 12 of those, I think it's not fair. So at least we want to have SAPC on board, but also other broadcasting channels, so that the nation can see talent that we have in boxing. I'm telling you, we've got talent. There are some tournaments that where I've witnessed that South Africa does have talent when it comes to boxing. But that talent can only be appreciated when it's live on television, but also being supported by private sector, not only government. We want private sector to support boxing. But now you've got few individuals that are being supported by private sector. I'm talking about boxers. But we want at least, if you've got a number of plus or minus 800 boxers in your system, you must, those who are active, 50% of them must be supported. by the private sector.
Are we engaging the private broadcaster for our awards and the boxing qualifier? Because we see the private broadcaster is letting us down in a way. Not intentionally, but
yeah, we're engaging everyone. Yeah, we're engaging everyone. Anyone on the TV.
Job officially
On the TV is cool now.
okay, the officially tournament SABC ezoba secretary ithole ubani bid yakhona no the date quality.
It's Velo Promotions.
The date?
I think 23 or 28 July. Yeah, but you're gonna release a statement. The first tournament was in April. TLP Promotions. I think that's Joyce Kungwa. That was the first one. The second one went to Kayama Cheke in Eastern Cape last week. We in Eastern Cape 28 May. The third one went to Mr. Chem Dongola in Limpopo. That would be 23rd of June. The fourth one would be 28 July, Namvelo. And then the fifth one is in Western Cape, August, by Insane, I think Mr. Safa. And then soon, maybe next week, we're going to issue another second phase of our request for proposal. And then we'll have to invite provinces like State and provinces like Eastern Cape, Western Cape, Eastern Cape and KZN based on the productivity that they had in the previous year.
So now is getting they have some awards and then
No. She was supposed to get 30 June.
Okay.
But because now on that day we've got awards, we've postponed it to July.
Oh.
So it won't. Yeah. In fact, there was that delay. Hence why Western Cape was supposed to be in July. It's now moving to August.
Oh, okay. And the latest on the sugar Michael said the shy box and no the joy for joy. As well as no club promotions. The latest.
No, I think as of my cases now because we're in the new financial year. So in no time we'll start sitting. Roma cases will start sitting. When it comes to ABA, as I've been telling me, there's nothing wrong about cancelling a tournament. We are always, as PSA, we are always cancelling our tournaments if they are not compliant with our regulations. And we don't punish you for that you've cancelled a tournament. We start punishing you if you are contravening or deliberately contravening some regulations. And there's no comparison to what happened to ABA and with that what happened in December with J4 Joy. There were a number of issues when it comes to J4 Joy event. Fraudulent allegations of fraudulent payments, boxers being not taken care of, airport, using the pictures of a king, and that dragged the name of the boxing into disrepute. In this case, we are told the sponsors pulled out. So what can you do? If really you know that it's Wednesday and on Saturday you're having a tournament and maybe you get a letter on Thursday morning, I'm making an example that we are no longer partnering with you. Yeah, I think so. We are here to receive a full report, but that's what we've been told by Mr. Father. And I have not received even complaints in my desk from boxers who were part of the tournament. Okay. Yeah, so you start acting once you receive a formal complaint. I think he knows what needs to be done, the obligations of 10%. He knows that. We are engaged in it.